Welcome everybody to our webinar, How Contentful and Vercel allows you to engineer for peak traffic. In case you didn't know, this year is flying by. We're already into November, and this webinar is all about how leading retailers use both Contentful and Vercel together to create high performance and secure storefronts. I'm Karson Seeley. I'm a senior platform architect at Vercel. That means I get to work with some of the top teams and brands at Vercel, working with them every day to get the most out of the Vercel platform. And today I'm very happy to be co-hosting this with Nika from Contentful. Nika, please introduce yourself.
Thank you, Carson. Hi, everyone. I'm leading technical partner enablement program at Contentful. And before joining Contentful, I was actually a customer running digital experience platform built on Contentful for over 8 million users in North America. So now at Contentful, we use Vercel everywhere for every single use case to build all those innovations and experience. And I'm super excited to present for you today with Karson what Contentful can do with Vercel.
Awesome. Yes, looking forward to it. So, to start off here with our little agenda, I want to start by recapping some Black Friday 2024 review. As we say, we are in November, and we know for many Vercel customers, including you all here, no doubt, it's top of mind for you. This could be one of your biggest weeks for your whole organization. That's actually not too rare. So, we're going to look at a quick review of 2024 and the numbers. We're going to touch on what Vercel is. We're going to touch on what Contentful is. And again, the really key to this is how they two come together to really unlock incredible potential for teams such as yours. And then we're going to touch on the most important thing is making sure that you are Black Friday ready yourself for 2025. So Vercel, quick intro. What is Vercel? It really brings the performance, scale, and security to your e-commerce applications and beyond. Some great high-level Black Friday, Cyber Monday numbers from 2024. We were pushing 86 billion requests at nearly 2 million requests per second at peak, which is all really incredible. And all this to say is Vercel really brings that scale and performance and security at massive scale, including Black Friday and Cyber Monday. And Vercel really is the complete platform for building intelligent storefronts, web apps, agents, MCPs, and beyond, well beyond. Today, we're sort of focusing in on storefronts and more e-commerce because of, again, this holiday season coming up. But Vercel really is this complete toolbox to be able to bring your applications to life and get them to the world as quick as possible. And we do that in many ways. One of the key ways is managed infrastructure. And what that ultimately means for you is you and your team get to focus on your product, your stores, your customers, and not actually have to worry about the infrastructure needed. You can just pass that off to Vercel. And it has the best practices built in. And with that, that means less misconfigurations. And out of the box, you get global and fast dynamic hosting and all again with zero configuration and the scale so that traffic spikes like perhaps what's coming on Black Friday and Cyber Monday is actually exciting. Vercel really unlocks a ton of things, including higher site revenue. Looking forward to touch on that, how Vercel and its platform can really unlock that, as well as faster iteration speed, lower costs, and 10x or 100x developers, as we see here. Developers like Nika, I think like myself, they love working with Vercel, and it allows you to bring some of the top talent. So that's a little bit of an intro to Vercel and what it brings to the table. And I'd love to pass it off to Nika here to talk about how Contentful brings this content agility layer.
Thank you, Carson. So when we think about peak moments like Black Friday and Cyber Monday, success really depends on two things, agility and performance. So I'd like to share the story for you today, how Contentful does it. So let's talk a little bit deeper around Black Friday and Cyber Monday, because we all know they not just an events for us, they are the biggest test of our digital resilience. And in 2024, Contentful powered over 3 billion delivery requests during Cyber Monday and 3.2 billions during Black Friday. And this all with 99.9 uptime across retail customer globally. Just think about the scale. And that's the power of Contentful. When your site handles billion of APIs calls flawlessly, your teams can really focus on marketing and performance instead of working on outages. So what is Contentful? We are composable digital experience platform. It gives team everything that you need to build, to manage, to optimize digital experience across any channel. Let me simplify what you see in here on this diagram. On the left, composable content is where teams create and structure reusable content blocks that work across any channel, like your website, like your apps, like campaigns, even digital signage for a lot of customers. Then you have optimization that brings personalization and experimentation. So your marketer, without any development involvement, can test, experiment, and deliver the right curated content for the right audience real time. Then we have analytics, our latest addition to our Contentful platform. We are in beta right now, but it's available. It helps your team to understand how your content performed right there, real time, in real moment, and you can see this right there in the platform without leaving Contentful in your content management. And of course, we have an experience assembly layer. It's a visualization. This is where you will host your design system components, your experience. This is where your marketers can create a bunch of templates. So, and then running through everything is our AI layer. Our AI layer helps marketers and developers and pretty much everyone to automate your day-to-day workflow from generating content to translation to audience suggestion or experimentation. And underneath, you have the core ecosystem, our Contentful platform that is secure, that is API first, and it's designed to iterate with literally any tool with ecosystem like data, e-commerce, campaigns, and your custom applications as well. So in short, Contentful is where teams build, evolved all the experience, and they can do it fast, and developers would enjoy, and marketers can then iterate without development involvement. And this is where that workflow really comes to life. Whether you're running a campaign in Germany, Brazil, United Kingdom, your team can reuse the same structured content, pulling from the same assets, from the same data, from the same product information, but localize languages, prices, visuals for each region separately. Everything stays consistent because it's managed in a one central platform, but still flexible enough that each market can deliver their own experience. That's the power of structured content and orchestration. One content foundation that scales globally while feeling local everywhere. And sitting on top, you have Vercel, which ensures everything you publish through Contentful is delivered instantly anywhere in the world. So together, Contentful and Vercel form a complete modern digital experience platform, helping teams to move with agility, ensuring every digital experience is delivered at the highest level. And of course, Contentful is trusted by some of the world's most recognized and innovative brands, from global retailers, as all of you know, like Shopify, Ruggable, and Aldo, to enterprise like BMW, TELUS, to digital disruptors like Notion, DoorDash, or Intercom. In total, we power more than 50,000 live global websites across every industry and region. What unites those brands is the same goal. They want to move fast, they want to deliver at scale, and they want to create experience that feel personal, and all without limited traditional content management or infrastructure constraints. And modern experience that what we all see right now aren't just fast, they are smart. With Contentful, brands can personalize content for every audience, whether it's a first-time visitor exploring your website first time, or a returning customer who knows exactly what they want to buy, or in this case, a very dedicated pet owner shopping for the perfect rug for their dogs or cats. What makes this possible is how Contentful connects your entire ecosystem together. your commerce platform like Shopify or SAP, your customer data from Salesforce or Segment, and of course, marketing tools like Klaviyo. All that information flows into Contentful as unified customer profiles, so your teams can build tailored experience in one place, and then they can deliver this experience instantly with the edge with Vercel. So the results, consistent, personalized experience to every customer segment without giving up your speed, your SEO, and of course, your team's weekend. Our platform integrates seamlessly together. We talked about how Contentful powers agility and personalization at scale. Karson, can you tell us a little bit more about how Vercel does?
Yeah, absolutely. This is what makes that partnership so powerful. How Contentful brings that content agility layer, and Vercel brings that performance, security, and scale layer to your website. So what we end up calling this is the composable commerce stack, where Contentful brings the content and Vercel provides the rest, giving your team the flexibility to break out of the mono sales providers and be able to meet your customers where they are. And speaking of customers, we do have a great story to tell with Ruggable that uses both Vercel and, of course, Contentful. Isn't that right, Nika?
Yeah, thank you, Carson. Yeah, I love telling the story to customer. The story of our happy customer Ruggables. So before adopting Vercel and Contentful, Ruggables struggled with slow, risky deployments, limited global reach, and heavy reliance on developers. I'm sure it sounds familiar to you. But by adopting joint solution, Next.js with Vercel Edge Network and Contentful's modular content, they achieved 40% of faster site speed and 75% improvements in search engine optimization. And of course, they dramatically improved their publishing speed, how fast marketers can publish to the market. They successfully also expanded globally, easily managing content across multiple markets without adding any complexity.
Yeah, it's incredible to see how this really does manifest for our customers as it comes together, as we say, with Contentful bringing that content agility and Vercel bringing the performance scale and security. And that is what I want to dive into. So thank you very much, Nika, for that overview of Contentful and all the layers that it brings. When we talk about Vercel, I keep banging on about these three things that it brings: the performance, the scale, and the security. I want to go through each one, starting with performance. And it is performance that truly moves the needle. Our Vercel CDN is a high-performance global infrastructure with over 125 points of presence across 90 cities and 50 countries. And what that means for you practically is that your customers get the fastest experience no matter where they're coming from, thanks to our globally distributed infrastructure. And this isn't just for show. This really does move the needle. It moves the needle for our customers, just like it does Ruggable. This performance aspect has really moved the needles for others, like Helly Hansen, who moved all of their core web vitals to the green and had an 80% year-over-year growth for Black Friday. Incredible results. And this leads to what Vercel ultimately can bring to you and your team. It can make your infrastructure your competitive advantage. It seamlessly allows you to tap into this infinite global performance and infinite scale without you having to have a whole dedicated, incredible team to make that possible. Vercel does it all. And as I keep banging on about, this performance moves the needle. We know there's been lots of studies. This is a great one from Deloitte, where every improvement by zero point 0.1 second in load time leads to an 8% increase in conversion rate. And at some point, your infrastructure really is your lowest common denominator. And with Vercel, you know you can get the fastest possible performance, and it can move the needle for your business. Next up is the scale to be able to meet the moment. We're, of course, talking about Black Friday, Cyber Monday right now. So I think that's top of mind for everybody. And what this really should be is that traffic spikes should not be scary. They should be exciting. And with Vercel, And with Vercel, you know that you can be prepared for success because we have our infinite scalability with our infrastructure, with our intelligent edge caching, all with the reliability and speed. And a key thing that I want to talk about here is actually how Vercel prepares you to be successful, both with fluid compute and ultimately a higher level thought around scale and really thinking about it more as resiliency. Resiliency for any scale, but of course for Vercel, we're always thinking about everybody, including our enterprise customers. And Vercel is prepared to make sure you're successful with important scale infrastructure that Fluid Compute provides. This includes function failover regions and auto scaling concurrency so that you can be resilient at any scale. One key thing I'd like to call out on this is our failover regions. This is an incredibly powerful feature where if there happens to be a case where a region becomes unhealthy, Vercel is able to redirect that traffic so that you can stay online. Saving could be potentially millions of dollars. Another thing when it comes to resiliency that the Contentful team has that I'd love Nika to speak to is advanced caching. Nika, tell me about this.
Of course. Oh my God, we love this as a customer. We literally use this all the time, especially Black Friday, Cyber Monday. So advanced caching is what helps Contentful to perform, as we joking, on galactical scale. That's basically smart traffic control for your content, making sure that everything loads fast and in style, even when millions of people are hitting your website during like Black Friday and Cyber Monday. This is the way for you guys how the content is cached on the Contentful side. There are two main tricks to that. There is first one is stale while revalidate. You can read this full through documentation, but essentially is our users see cached content instantly while the system updates the newest version behind the scene. And the second one is stale when rate is limited. So when traffic hits suddenly and everything is explored, it keeps serving the cached version for your customer. So everything is running smoothly behind the scene. And when you pair this with Vercel Edge Network, your content is delivered instantly around the world, giving you that extra layer of safety when things go insane.
Insane in a good way. Yes, thank you, Nika. The advanced caching is an incredible feature that ties to my next point about as somebody that works on the front line, so to speak, with our customers from the field engineering team. I love to be able to remind folks that it's great to be able to test your app and to know your limits. Nika spoke about the advanced caching that Contentful offers, but it's a good point as you're going into these important areas to know the limits of your application and to be able to ultimately identify any bottlenecks. And, usually it's not Vercel, it happens to be some downstream provider like a CMS, but you can see Contentful deals with that in its own way. But a key thing here that I want to call out is to make sure that these hot paths, these most important paths in your application, are properly documented and well instrumented so you're able to take action and understand what's happening in your application. Uh, and continue to have those traffic spikes be exciting. So the third pillar that Vercel brings is security, and that security gives you confidence. And no matter what language or flavor, if you will, of security that you speak, it's safe to say that Vercel is here to meet the moment with you, regardless if it is some three or four or five letter acronym or what. Vercel offers security that truly scales, as well as the observability that's needed for you to be successful. So when we talk about security, I'd like to sort of zoom in on the Vercel WAF, the firewall, that provides you automatic DDoS protection at the various levels. And the key thing is that it's enabled by default and is fully managed, meaning you can have the confidence to go live on Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and beyond to make sure that with this great infinite scalability of Vercel, you're also being able to manage these bad actors, this bad traffic. And Vercel's firewall is always doing incredible work. 300 billion threats blocked as of recently. And one of my favorite internal channels at Vercel that I'm always grateful to be able to see is how many mitigation attack mitigations that Vercel has done with the WAF. We have an internal channel that shows us, and it's really incredible to see how we can keep customers online without them ever even knowing that anything is happening. And this brings me to this question. What about bots? I think bots are a very interesting question these days because this Black Friday and Cyber Monday 2025 could be the first time that these bots are more empowered than ever to be able to take action on your websites and your storefronts. And 50% of internet traffic comes from bots. And of that, two-thirds of those are malicious. So this means that you can get this unwanted traffic is can really negatively impact your store and your other customers. And this is a real problem. And in fact, it's becoming even more nuanced because there's, of course, beneficial bots, or there's, of course, harmful bots that we are familiar with. Perhaps they're scraping for content or pricing. These are traditionally thought of to be harmful bots that we didn't necessarily. However, there's now these more beneficial bots where it's more nuanced. Perhaps something like the ChatGPT from a chat when it goes to look at your website, you of course do not want to block that intent, perhaps. So now that we're getting even more nuanced with the behavior that we're looking to have with bots. You really need comprehensive control. And for everybody, it's a little bit different. Perhaps you don't want AI bots to access your website. Perhaps you want only AI to access your website. In any case, Vercel has the tools to be able to give you the comprehensive control over the bot activity for your website. And we call it Bot ID. If you've not heard of it, it's a great feature. It's one I wanted to call out as we're going into Black Friday, Cyber Monday, because I really think this is a new X factor in this year, Black Friday and Cyber Monday. And Bot ID is the invisible bot detection engine, and it means you have zero friction verification for your customers, and as well as deep analysis to be able to detect more sophisticated and stealthy bots in real time. And for any fellow developers out there, the good news is you're not just adding some sketchy script tag on all of your pages. We have incredible developer experience as always with our Vercel products, and Bot ID is no different. Being able to just check bots more generally and lock it down, or if you want to be more granular and, for example, allow certain bots like ChatGPT Operator, an example here. And what this ultimately unlocks for you, especially as e-commerce and storefronts, is you can keep your checkout flows clean. You do not have to pop up some very ugly, slow puzzle in the midst of your customers checking out. As we were saying before, every 1 second of load time hurts conversion rates. And you can think of this as being even more of an impact on your customers at various points. And being able to have this invisible bot ID without having to do some sort of turnstile is incredibly valuable to our e-commerce customers. And beyond that, you can also safeguard your most critical endpoints if you happen to have others, for example, AI endpoints or transactions. In any case, Bot ID really allows you the flexibility to meet the moment. And with Vercel more generally, it brings you that performance, that scale, and that security that you need to thrive. And that is really how Vercel brings the performance, security, and scale. And Contentful brings that content agility that really allows you to engineer your sites for peak traffic. And my question with that is if you are ready, Black Friday, Cyber Monday is just around the corner, and it's top of mind for us, and it's top of mind for you. And for us, of course, we're only as successful as our customers are. And it's an incredible cool tool we have this year is the Black Friday Cyber Monday Readiness Assessment, where you're able to log in, ask a few various questions, and be able to get some key insights into how you can be ready for your Black Friday and Cyber Monday, be it Bot ID or beyond. That is all I have for you today. Thank you very much, Nika. I appreciate being with you. For Karson, thank you all for coming. And we wish you all the best for your Black Friday, Cyber Monday 2025.